I mean, here for IrishBoxing.com. Mick, a packed week. You've Pierce and Leary, but also you have the one Waterford. A packed week, another packed week for Conlan Boxing. I know it's late at night, first off. But from live from your bed, it looks like. How are you?
Yes, late from the bed, so just chilling out, mate. I'm good. I'm good. I'm home at the minute, so I'm just resting.
Costa del Mick in the live from the bed. Listen, we're all chill, we're all good, but listen, it's a stack card on
Yeah,
Saturday night. But I just want to talk about Pierce for a sec. Another
yeah,
tough test with the Spaniard, Antonio Collado, I think his name is,
yeah.
another defense of his WBC title. The last time we seen Pierce was in Belfast, if I'm correct.
Indeed, yeah.
Yes, and it was a shutout performance against Dale Foley in a great fight, defending his WBC title. He's back again. First up, was it tough to make this fight and to get an opponent from? And second, how is Pierce?
Yeah, it was kind of, it was long, fucking drawn out one, it seemed. I know that Jimmy was handling the opponent and stuff, but yeah, Pierce is good. Pierce, in my opinion, is one of the hottest prospects in Irish boxing. I can't really call him a prospect no more. In fairness, he's more a contender,
Mm,
and he's just raring to go, and he's an unbelievable fighter with
mm,
the mindset to match that.
mm.
That's very important. You could be so talented if you don't have the mindset and the will and the want to win so much that you give everything in training.
Yeah,
It sometimes doesn't add up, but with Pierce, he's got all the tools and all the eagerness and want to be a champion.
yeah. Um, I remember in the back when Pierce won, you sat him down and you said these words. You said, "You're going to be a world champion." Do you think those words were obviously they'll be coming true? Hopefully in 2025, do you think Pierce could be on the cusp of a world title shot or even a major title shot next year?
Yeah, I do. I think so. I think so. I think he could definitely be on the cusp, and have some sort of big title in 2025. As I says, his old ability. It
Mm.
just needs to be the right route, the right plan, to get him there. And listen, the guy is willing and ready to go against anybody, and
Mm.
that's something that's always appealing
Mm.
when you're working with a fighter. Sometimes you got to pull the reins back on someone like Pierce, and let him be gated the right way.
Yeah. We're going to go into the war in Waterford. It's 15 fights on the card. I've never seen a card with 15 fights in it, but listen, here we are. First
Yeah.
off, building a card with 15 fights in it, Mick, was it tough for you and Jamie to get 15 fights first off?
It's not tough to get 15 fights. It's tough to try to keep them low. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That's the
yeah,
hardest thing because there's so much people willing and wanting to fight and wanting to get out. And obviously, working alongside Pro Box, they want their own kind of fighters and their own stuff on the card as well. So, that's the thing, is managing how much fighters is probably the biggest card there's ever been in the country.
yeah.
And yeah, it's exciting. Listen, there's some great fights there. Dean Walsh's debut is something I'm really looking forward to.
Mm,
Having Cronin back out after, you know, a robbery, so to say. It was a
mm,
close fight, but he should have got the nod against Brennan. And then you've got the likes of Tommy Hayes and stuff on the card. So it's an interesting one. And then when you go to the top of the card, and you've got Tyrone McKenna versus Dylan Moran, or Dylan Moran versus Tyrone McKenna, should I
mm.
say?
Yeah,
And then Graham McCormick in that fight against
Craig
what's the name
McCarthy.
already? Craig McCarthy. It's
Yeah,
going to be a belter because Craig is up for it. Graham is up for it. It's a rematch. It was a
mm,
war the first time. No
yeah.
doubt it's going to be a war the second time. And I'm probably more excited about the press conference with those two because
Hey, yeah,
the
yeah,
world words and the
yeah.
things they could say is fantastic. And also for the non-Irish viewers, they won't really understand a lot of the things they both guys say, but the crack and the banter between both
Yeah,
of them is fantastic, and it's
yeah,
it's all tongue in cheek until they get in the ring and try to rip the
yeah.
head off each other.
Because I was talking to Graham and he said to me, listen, if Craig was going to be silent and he was going to answer questions, that's completely okay. But Craig picked up the mic, one word started, then another one came, and then suddenly we had two lads going at it for three, four
Yeah.
minutes, and then I think Chris Argyri was the one that said, "Oh, was it you that said I don't speak culture?" And then everyone started laughing. But it was a good 4 or 5 minutes for a press conference. Like you got
It
loads
was
out of that.
yeah, it was fantastic. It sells the fight, and
Yeah.
those two guys, anytime they fight, no matter who they're fighting, they love to talk some smack, and they both have tempers, you can see,
Mm.
and they both don't really control those emotions at a press conference. In a fight, probably different, but at the press conferences, I think it's the second one that we've done with press conference. Now he didn't fight the last thing because the show fell through the Dublin
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Um, Craig McCarthy was on it, and again, he looked like he was ready to fight at the press conference.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love the fire in them, and their will and want to win is something nice to see.
Mm. Let's go through the card a small bit. First off, we're gonna go to Dylan Moran and Tyrone McKenna. A clash that we were hearing about coming in, and then obviously it came in. Was it hard to make this clash, and why this clash?
Well, no, Tyrone as Tyrone is. Tyrone will fight anybody. And
Yeah.
once it was said, then he said yes. Dylan Moran was looking for a big fight, and that fight was put to him. He said yes. So I think it's a fantastic fight. It's a crossroads fight, really, for both guys. But we say it every time Tyrone kind of fights, and he pulls something in the bag and puts on a good performance, and they're going, okay, he wants to go again. Even if he loses, he wants to go again. Tyrone just
Yeah.
loves the fight. He's a warrior, and Dylan Moran, it's another test for him where the likes of at the likes of Marku and stuff where he stepped up and he's came unraveled. This time he has a chance to right the wrong and get it right. But I think it's a fantastic fight. Um, Moran coming off a fantastic win against Owen O'Neill. Tyrone McKenna coming off a loss against
Mahmood.
Mahmood.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I think it's one that questions will be asked by both guys.
Hmm. Co-main, I think it's the co-main, Craig Graham. As we said, a great fight. A very
Yeah.
verbal spat back and forth, and an entertaining one. But how do you see it going, Mick?
The last fight, albeit Graham should have got the
Yeah.
nod, and Craig got the nod. So I'm just expecting a war, a complete war,
Mm,
blood and guts everywhere.
mm.
Those guys, from the tongue and cheek you're getting off them in the press conferences, look like they're ready to pour their hearts out in that ring. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a great fight, one for the fans that tune in to watch because it's going to be fireworks from the first bell, in my opinion.
Mm. Tommy Hyde and Brandon McCarthy, both making their debuts at the Waterford card.
Yeah,
It's great to get a bit of home, on the
yeah,
card and have those two lads on the card.
yeah. They're Irish debuts, isn't it? It's their
Yeah,
Irish kind of
yeah.
debuts. Um, it's a great one for the boys. Both close enough to Waterford. Are they neighbouring counties? Are they
Oh, sorry.
Kilkenny and?
Tommy fought in the Pro Hall in Cork.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So he's spot on.
yeah,
So it's their first time fighting in Waterford, which
yeah,
is not something you really say. My first time fighting in Waterford
yeah,
at all, because when you fight in Ireland, you fought everywhere
yeah.
basically. But it's first time as a pro. Our first card in Waterford, so I'm looking forward to it. It
Mm,
seems like it's a great arena, a great setup, and the boys, as I said, both neighbouring counties to Waterford. So,
yeah.
it's going to be an interesting one. I want to see the fan base they kind of bring and the numbers, the tickets they've sold. I'm expecting wins, of course.
Mm.
But also I want to see some top performance from the guys. And they're both high class amateurs, so I am expecting something nice.
Speaking of tickets, quickly, Mick, how has tickets been doing so far for the event?
I think they're going well. It's not the SSC, so you're
Yeah.
not, it's definitely going to sell out in my opinion, and I think it's on route to do that.
And pay-per-view numbers, have you seen numbers so far for boys, or will it be
I
all?
haven't been asking anything about the pay-per-view. No, it's
Okay,
that's Jamie's dealing with that with Pro Box at the minute.
okay. Dean Gonzalez furlong, Dean Walsh, Shane McConnell, and Kevin Cronin next.
Yeah,
Four really, really good lads, and congrats to all four of them for being on the card. Kevin Cronin, obviously, as you say, coming off the back of a controversial fight. Let's say that
yeah,
from a journalist perspective point of view.
yeah.
And then the other lads. But what's your opinion, Mick?
I think the boys, Kevin's kind of coming back. There's something in the pipeline for Kevin, so he's just got to
Do
go
you want to
back
say anything
in.
there, Mick?
No, I can't. I can't say
Okay,
nothing. I can't say
okay,
nothing. But
okay.
there's something in the pipeline for him. Is really big. So, he's going to go in here, get the job done, look good doing so. Stay active. That's the most important thing is for young fighters is to stay active.
Yeah,
Um, and get out as much as you can. Kevin Cronin probably shouldn't have it zero defeats on his record at the minute,
yeah,
but he has two, isn't it? Two and one draw.
yeah,
Um, and he could probably have three wins there, really.
yeah.
When you delve into it, really. So, um, he's a great kid, a
Mm,
workhorse, someone who really has give his life to the sport and has trained really, really hard
mm,
and wanting all the opportunities you can get and willing to take any fight. So,
mm.
he'll go out, get the job done, and the other boys, Dean Walsh making his debut late enough in the pro game, but he reached out to me, he says, I want to go pro, Mick, what can we do? And I says, Dean, no problem, let's talk, let's see what you can do. You move the tickets, we get going, we get good opponents, we build you. We build him a little bit at the start, but then we're gonna have to start moving him fast because he is older in the game. He doesn't have as much time as some of the young boys coming up. Um, so he'll go out here. We'll see how he looks as a pro, and then we'll see how we move him.
Mm. Then Shane McConnell, the man, he has hands, Mick. If you haven't seen already, the man when he steps in the ring, he knocks people out, and I guess we're expecting hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully the same performance and a knockout win and a Waterford crowd as well. That would go absolutely mental when this
Of
man puts
course,
someone out.
of course, he's got. But what was Hans of Stone? Hans of
Yeah,
Stone, yeah.
yeah,
Ireland's version of Hans of Stone.
yeah,
So, I think he goes in there, gets the job done, looks good doing it, gets a knockout, and then there's more opportunities for him down the lane. Same with Dean Furlong. He goes in there, looks good,
mm,
puts on a good performance, and there's more opportunities down the lane. It's all about building, especially for the young guys. They got to build themselves to create more opportunities. They have to look good. They have to, be able to move a ticket and put on performances, and that's what boxing's all about, climbing the ladder.
mm. Danny Duffy making his debut against Jake Pollard, and then a Queensway man as well on the card, Owen Lavin. What was the? Tell me first off, how was it? How did you get Owen Lavin on the card? Obviously, since he's a Queensway fighter, was it hard between the negotiations?
No, I spoke to Owen. Owen reached out to me, and then his management reached out to me about a possibility of getting him on the card, and Queensbury are for it. And I says no problem if Queensbury is getting things sorted, we can put him on the card. We got a space for him, and I'm interested to see him. I watched his last performance. Good performance. He's a good kid, very talented. Trained over in Manchester with Anthony Corolla,
Yeah.
and some of his stablemates are on the card, which is good to see.
Mm.
So he'll feel at home, and also he'll move a lot of tickets. So,
Yeah.
it's great. He's doing a great job so far in the pro game. So I'm interested to see how it progresses, and interested to see the interest in him in
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah. Danny Duffy, I think he's managed by Jay Quigley, if I'm not mistaken. An exciting young fella, I've been told. What's your opinion, Mick?
I haven't caught much of Danny, if I'm going to be honest. I haven't caught much of him, but I've heard good things.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. I love watching talent. I love seeing the talent grow.
Mm.
And that's where it all starts, the grassroots parts of
Yeah.
professional boxing at home, in the arenas around the counties. Sometimes these shows are never on TV. Most of the shows aren't on TV. So the
Yeah.
fact that we're bringing a broadcaster and, obviously a 15 fight card, it's crazy.
Yeah. Was it hard to get the broadcaster make for this card for such a huge card?
No, no, no. We have a kind of deal with Pro Box at the minute. We're working together. They want to build in Europe, and we're the European promoter for them.
Okay. And Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi enjoyed their time a few weeks ago in
Yeah,
Ireland,
but
and
I'm
they'll be back
unsure if
again.
I'm unsure if they're going to be there this time. Um, I know they may send a few different guys this time, but I'm unsure if the boys are going to be over this time. They loved the last time. They
Yeah.
enjoyed Ireland. They enjoyed plenty of Guinness. So,
Plenty in this.
that's that's
Plenty of
that's
points.
that's the most important thing for those guys. They're
In terms
tired,
of
baby.
in terms of schedule with you and Jamie, we want to be going up to Pierce this fight and then traveling back and over because I know the last time Jamie at the SSC he hopped on a flight at 8 a.m. in the morning to go to the Liverpool fight. And I think the same as you. So what would the schedule be working out for that one?
Yeah, one will be well, I will be in Waterford, and Jamie most likely will be with Pierce.
Okay.
So that's kind of the plan.
And then you'd be looking closely down that. I think it's Friday night, Saturday. It's Saturday night for Pierce's fight.
Both Saturday, yeah, both same
So
night.
will it be kind of a bit hard to juggle two fights on one night? And would Jamie just text you a result, or how would that go?
Yeah, well, that's where it will go. If there's two people operating the boat, so
Yeah.
one will go with the Pierce and one will stay at home.
Mm. One final question: how excited are you for Waterford?
Man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being back in the south, being back, bringing boxing back to these kind of places where
Mm,
you don't get broadcast fights, so you
yeah.
get small type shows and stuff. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great, and the whole team who's been involved and Neil Parr and stuff.
Mm,
It's been fantastic.
mm. Mick, thank you so much for coming on. Apologies again about the late time. You enjoy the rest of your evening and your sleep,
My bad,
obviously.
man. I missed your time earlier. So it was my bad. No
Nah,
problem.
it was good. But no, listen, Mick, I appreciate it as always. Thank you so much.
Good man.